You know, we are bigger than any occurrence or condition or any low vibrational frequencies that show up, like division, doubt, fear, or stress. We live in a field of infinite possibilities that reacts to our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, right? I say that in some way pretty much every week. But I want to ask you to look at what energy or vibration you're in, that you're giving out. What energy, vibration do you want to be in if it's different from that which you are surrounded by now? And by surrounded by, I don't mean the divine love that is, of course, out there and surrounding you and within you, but that which you are awakened to, which you are perceiving life to be. And I know when crazy things happen in our nation, in our world, it does affect us, of course, and can affect our vibration to the degree that we allow it. Our optimal job is to, of course, turn away from the reaction of what is not peaceful and step into intention and creation of what is peaceful, what we decide is peaceful. Are you ready to let go of fear? Are you ready to let go of anger and uncertainty and step into clarity, into your understanding of life, into your certainty of divine love, into your inner and mental and heartfelt peace? See, we can be the light in the darkness by switching on the God switch. The God switch, it's always there. That power, of course, is within, right? But we have to switch it on in order to intentionally have it in our lives. It's always there. It's always ready. But we get in the way, our bloated nothingness, as it is said, or our ego when we're edging God out. We can be the light in the darkness. So how do you start your day? In mind, body, and spirit, in soul. What are your thoughts and feelings? What are your spiritual practice? What is the food that you bring in? How do you start your day? With a meditation, with the affirmative incantation? And then how do you end your day? How do you sleep? What ideas in your mind is going on as you sleep? What do you put in there? See, peace out there starts with peace in here. And through our unity with the One and our awareness and our awakening with our highest self, we not only bring peace in our hearts, but we become an example to others. A not only example walking around, but a vibrational example, an energetic example. And we raise the vibration throughout the world. So let's start with our bodies. Being mindful of our bodies is essential to the expression of our attitude and our perspectives and our perceptions, and then, of course, thusly, our beliefs and our experiences. So when you walk around, are you collapsed? Are your shoulders slumped and your spine contracted? Are you allowing that to happen? And if you can, are you not like this? Are you not lifting up, doing your Wonder Woman pose? Remember the Wonder Woman pose or the Superman pose? That actually changes what's going on, the cells, the way the nerves are snapping each other. It changes when you're in that pose, that power pose, they call it too. Are you doing those? Are you doing your deep breath work, releasing, refreshing, rebooting everything by doing some breath work? And it only takes 5, 10, 15 seconds, actually, to do some breath work to reset you for the next hour or so. That spiritual practice, whether it's the 20-minute meditation, the 3 to 5 minute spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, or the 10, 15-second breath work, That all comes together to reveal the light that is in you, and thus the light that enters the world and beyond. When we focus on what we want to expand through our language and our communication to ourselves, that self-talk, that's powerful. Choose yours. It's not what you don't want, remember. It's what you want. You want peace? Great. That's what you want. You don't want other things to stop that aren't peace. You want peace. We don't want to bring our focus or our power to the idea of what we don't want. Remember what Carl Jung said, what you resist persists. So do not resist the negative. Reframe it. Reframe it to surrender to the positive. Now, this is not just about good or bad, but that we declare that we're going to reveal in our life or the life of our nation, let's say, right now, peace. I also want to remind you to plug in what nourishes you, what spiritual practice, this community or other communities, your book club, etc. Self-care, mentally and physically. Make sure you step into that. Make sure you, this week, look at that again. What foods are you bringing into your life? Are they nourishing? Are you nourishing your soul? Are you varying the input of music and what you read and what you watch and what you listen to? Are you moving your body? Because motion creates emotion, and emotion creates attitude and perception and perspective. And all those get put together with thoughts and feelings and bring into your life. That's that which you deeply believe. That's what's showing up in your experience. So is yours on strife or fear? Or is it on peace, health, and prosperity? I want to read you a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. And he wrote, there is an indefinable indefinable, wow, there's a great word. There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything. I feel it, though I do not see it. It is this unseen power which makes itself felt and yet defies all proof because it is so unlike all that I perceive through my senses. It transcends the senses, but it is possible to reason out the existence of God to a limited extent. Even in ordinary affairs, we know that people do not know who rules or why and how it rules, meaning the divine. And yet they know that there is a power that certainly rules. And that power is in each and every one of us. Now that brings us to our next theme, which is integrity and courage. I'd like to start with a Dr. King quote. And he wrote, cowardice ask the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular. But one must make it because one's conscience tells one that it is right. Courage is the ability to do what is in your heart. It comes from the Latin word cor, meaning heart and spirit. We open our hearts to trust the inner wisdom, to trust with integrity and courageousness that we shall stand on principle. But our theme right now is believing. Believing. Gandhi said, is this power, he asked actually, is this power benevolent or malevolent? And he, of course, was talking about the creative power, the universal power, and the divine power. And he goes on to say, I see it as a purely benevolent, for I can see that in the midst of death, life persists. In the midst of truth, truth persists. In the midst of darkness, light persists. Hence, I gather that God is life, truth, light, love, the supreme good, not merely satisfying the intellect, but ruling the heart and transforming it, expressing in every smallest act. This can only be done through a definite realization, more real than the five senses can ever produce. Before we get to the next song, I want to highlight our purpose statement for the month. Our principle for the month, which is our purpose statement, reveal the divinity in you. That is the purpose of the New Thought Spiritual Center, and at least one of the purposes in my life, and I trust your life as well. Reveal the divinity. In the words of Bono, hey now, don't dream it's over. When the world comes in to build a wall between us, we know they won't win. Peace is a possibility, always, and right now. Believing that, though, is step one. Keep peace in mind everywhere you are, even when you don't see it. Even when you see the opposite of it, you're not recognizing the unrest, you're recognizing the step towards peace. Let us embody what St. Francis declared. And he said, I am an instrument of divine peace. Where there is hatred, I shall sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Divine love. I now declare that I shall not so much seek to be consoled as to console. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in giving that I receive. It is in pardoning that I am pardoned. And so I forgive all and allow all hate, fear, anger, disappointment, and victimhood to be released from my heart and die from my experience. As I reveal my eternal life of love, peace, honor, justice, respect, kindness, and grace. A powerful prayer. I rewrote it a little bit. You might notice, those who are familiar with St. Francis's prayer piece of prayer. But the power of it is immeasurable. And he wrote that how long ago? Hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Now, you probably won't be able to curb every idea that enters your head. And especially the negative ones that get in our way. But by watching your actions, and for me, watching my actions, watching my thoughts, character, my habits, we can always decide if any of those are going to make a home in our lives. Do you understand what I'm saying? We get to choose. If we make a mistake, we get to choose whether that was the last time or not that we make that mistake, whether it is in action or thought or feeling. So this week, I want to invite you, because I'm going to do it myself, to review all of these thoughts and feelings that have been going through our heads about what happened last week, about what's going to go on this week, about our lives, about our partners, about our jobs, about COVID, about everything. Let's review that and decide what of those we want to keep in our lives. So let us now review our affirmative incantation for this week, our twice daily reset to our factory settings that reveal the divinity within. So you ready? Steve will pop it up in a second. There it is. You can say it with me if you'd like, or just have a listen. And it is in the notes there on the Facebook Live section, and it was in the Friday newsletter, and you can find it there. And if you need to be a part of the newsletter, please send us an email, ntsc@NewThought-SC.org, and we'll get you on the mailing list. So here's our affirmative incantation for this week. Today, I begin to use the power within like I have never done before to experience the good that God is. I know who I am, an individualized force of the creative intelligence of all. I am empowered by the light and wisdom of the thing itself, spirit, source, divine intelligence. I follow that truth with the awareness that my thought is creative. Thoughts are things. And so I sow the seeds of my joyous life with these words today. I move now as an outlet for the universe to work with me, for me, by me, and through me, to make my life a living demonstration of its greatest example. So here I am, universe. Here I speak my word, spirit. Here I am using my mind, heart, soul, brain, and gut to talk to you, declare as you, reveal through you a life being lived fully with succulence, joy, grace, peace, and courage. I surround myself with love, kindness, wisdom, creativity, and vitality, nurturing my body, mind, and soul with goodness and laughter. Today, I feed my consciousness with the nutrition of divine love and sing out with success. So in closing, I want to remind you that on January 30th, we begin the 64-day season for nonviolence. And that is an educational and grassroots campaign dedicated to the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King, who we celebrate here in the United States tomorrow. Both of them believed in the power of truth and possibility, and that a person of conscience could awaken others by refusing to go along with existing injustice, whatever that looks like, wherever that is, and by pointing out more just and workable alternatives. That's what we focus on. We focus on just and workable alternatives to whatever is not working any longer in our nation, in ourselves, and in our world. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. applied Gandhian principles in the movement for civil rights, and we want to bring those ideas and those principles not only in our life, but the life of our country and our world. I want to remind you that Nikola Tesla told us that if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. The vibration of the divine, that is what we want to put out. The frequency of love, that's what we want to put out. The energy of peace, that is what we want to exude and take action with. Peace begins within, my friends, and radiates outward. Peace in the land starts with the individual, and there is no peace in the nation without peace in each of our hearts. So I want to remind you and remind you to remind others to get into the wave of peace. I know a lot of things are going on, and we need to weep about them a little bit, rage about them maybe a little bit, if we must. But keep that at home. Keep the weeping and the raging to a minimum. Like I say, 90 seconds maybe. But then breathe. Breathe and plug in and nourish, and then sing. Sing to peace. Sing so that we give peace a chance to to lock in. And I want to thank you all for joining us and stepping into your peace of mind, your peace in your hearts, and thus the peace of our planet, the peace of our planet. Blessings to you all. Blessings to everyone in your heart, everyone in your neighborhood. Blessings to all. And God bless America. Namaste.